Texas Tech is arguably about to have its most important recruiting weekend of this entire portal cycle. In today's video, we'll discuss each and every one of the 4 prospects set to be on campus this weekend out in the 806 and why it was so pivotal for Texas Tech to get Christian Anderson and JT Toppin squared away before this vastly important portal weekend. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And let's just jump right into it in terms of the prospects. We've talked about them all here on the channel, and you see the first one on your screen right now. SBI, Scarlet and Black Insider, Jacob Harris, Austin Massey, and myself can all confirm right now Donovan Atwell at the time of this recording. This video is being released on Friday, April 11th, that he has started his official visit out to the 806. He will be a senior next season. He is 6'5", 190, 1 year of eligibility remaining. And as you can see by the stats on your screen, he is one of the best three-point shooters in the country. 42% in 2023, 2024, 39.8% in this past season. And he is a guy that shot that on 7.5 attempts per game. He is a career 39.3% three-point shooter on 537 attempts in the collegiate ranks. He is also one of maybe the more underrated defenders at the guard spot, landing in the 85th percentile when it comes to defensive metrics. He is a name to watch and potentially could get some smoke and a little bit of flames even in terms of him potentially being a Red Raider later on this weekend, but he is 100% a name to monitor. Another name to monitor that we know is on campus, a Texas Tech source actually told me, a Texas Tech staffer actually told me that Lewan Watts is currently on campus. Again, the time that you're hearing this and the time of this recording is Friday morning, April the 11th, 2025. And Lewan Watts is one of those guys, man. He is one of the best players in the portal class. We've talked about him multiple times here on the channel, but you can see his stats a little bit more in depth on your screen. He shot 42.2% from 3 last year, 40.5% the year prior at Eastern Washington. He is a guy, in my estimation, that would fill the D5 role perfectly. I mean, just listen to these stats real quick. Again, if 42.2% from 3 doesn't get you going, this might 25% assist rate last year. He did have a 24% turnover rate, but he was asked to do a ton last year with a usage rate of 23.6%. I don't think he would have that kind of usage rate at Texas Tech, so I think that turnover rate would drastically decrease. Moving on, though, 79th percentile when it comes to catch and shoot. As a primary ball handler in the pick and roll, 78th percentile. In his post-up game is 88th percentile. He is a guy that you can play at the 3 or be a small ball 4, and I think he would be absolutely perfect for Texas Tech. Once again, to replace Darion Williams and be a guy, in my opinion, Lewan Watts, that could go in and be an all Big 12 type performer from the moment he steps foot on campus and wears the scarlet and black. Now, his recruitment is not over, but it is a good sign that Texas Tech got the first visit. There are other schools involved here are Villanova and Tennessee, but he is definitely a name to monitor this weekend and moving forward in the portal for the Red Raiders, and he is of the utmost importance for Texas Tech and maybe the highest priority for the Red Raiders in the portal right now. Now, the next name is one that I think we've talked about maybe more than any other prospect, and it feels like about time that he's about to be on campus. It's Isaiah Pasha. He was actually, I believe, in the first video, maybe second video, in terms of portal season here on the channel, and he will have his official visit this weekend out into the 806 starting on Sunday, April 13th. He is 6'4", 190, and yes, his last name is pronounced paw, like a dog's paw, Pasha, okay? Heavy usage rate as a true freshman and was the Colonial Athletic Association's Freshman of the Year. He's good in the pick and roll. He gets to the rim quite a bit. In fact, 68% of his field goal attempts as a true freshman came at the rim. A 24% assist rate and just has a calmness about his game. He is an elite catch and shoot guy, 89th percentile, but he does struggle to shoot off the dribble. But I do think that will improve if and wherever he lands. Now, the interesting part about Isaiah Pasha is this. There were 3 schools that were listed as the primary schools that were really going after him heavy. It was Gonzaga, Penn State, and Texas Tech. Okay, Gonzaga, he had a visit set up to go up to Spokane, but it was canceled. The only official visit currently on his calendar is that to the 806, which again will start on Sunday, April 13th. When I watch him play, he reminds me of Milos Uzan down at Houston, started his career at Oklahoma. And I think that's where Isaiah Pasha is currently in his career progression. He's more of a Milos Uzan at Oklahoma, but you get him into a Texas Tech system with Jeff Linder, who is a point guard wizard and just a guard wizard in general in terms of just getting the absolute most out of their talent, as well as Grant McCasland himself. I think he could develop into that type of player and be a perfect complement alongside Christian Anderson in the Texas Tech backcourt and make a perfect 1-2 guard combo for the Red Raiders in 2025 and 2026. Once again, Isaiah Pasha out of Delaware is a name to monitor, and his official visit will kick off on Sunday, April 13th. Now, the other visitor on campus for Texas Tech is actually a guy that has already committed to Texas Tech. Funny enough, Tyreek Bryan, a senior, 6'5", 220 from Orlando, transferred from Santa Clara, and he is a guy, and if you want to go watch my full breakdown in terms of thoughts on him, I have his commitment video here on the channel in terms of my instant reaction to it. And on there, I'll give you a little sneak peek on it. I call him maybe the most underrated shooter in the portal, okay? Look at those numbers. He started his career, just absolutely shooting the lights out of it. As a true freshman, 42.1%. Last season as a junior, 42.9%. He is a guy that in his career has shot 41.6% from 3 on just under 4 attempts per game. 3.7 to be exact. He is sneaky athletic. He understands spacing at an elite level. And the type of shooter he is a guy that on the right side of the floor, it's basically a coin flip. And I don't mean that in a bad way. If you tell me there's a 50-50 chance that somebody's making a 3, you better take it. And that's kind of what it is for Tyreek Bryan. He shoots 50% from the corner, technically 49% and some change from the corner. 47% from the right arc, is 95th percentile in terms of catch and shoot, which has a 65% effective field goal percentage. That is absolutely bonkers. As a spot-up shooter, he ranks in the 94th percentile. And oh, by the way, as a defender, he's in the 85th percentile in that regard. And he can also be a primary ball handler in the pick and roll as well, ranking a nice 69th percentile there. Now, I'll be honest with you. We've talked about every one of these guys in terms of the portal, but I don't think we've talked about the 2 guys that Texas Tech has retained enough in how it impacts going into this weekend. This is what I mean by that. Having Christian Anderson and JT Toppin is maybe the most pivotal thing Texas Tech could have done in terms of before this weekend. Obviously, you want to keep those talented guys on your roster, right? That's just, you want to have the Big 12 Player of the Year come back. I don't think that's rocket science. But the way that Grant McCasland and crew like to operate these recruiting visits is they trust these returnees a lot to give them information in terms of not only vibes, but what is said between these guys that host these recruits. And that has been really imperative to Texas Tech's success in the first 2 seasons of Grant McCasland out in the 806. So having these key building blocks and JT Toppin and Christian Anderson return allows that vetting process of these guys coming on campus that potentially want to be Red Raiders to go even more smoothly, and Texas Tech can make more informed decisions. It's critical, and it was obviously huge to have them back just from an on-court talent perspective, but also knowing the culture and what Grant McCasland and crew are looking for in the prospects that they are targeting in the portal. And I think they've got some good ones on campus this weekend. well, and one of them's already a Texas Tech Red Raider, and Tyreek Bryan. He is officially signed according to the Texas Tech men's basketball Twitter account. But the 3 that are prospects uncommitted right now but are going to be on campus or already on campus at the time you're hearing this, which is, again, April 11th, Friday, 2025, are Donovan Atwell from UNC Greensboro, Lewan Watts from Washington State. He's the big one. And then you got Isaiah Pasha, the Delaware Blue Hen. Shout out to Joe Flacco. No, I always got to do it. His visit will start on April 13th. All right, that's going to do it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully we get some good news surrounding these guys headed into the weekend because, well, I'm wearing Masters green because, well, it is Masters weekend. Hopefully we get some good news on the hardwood for the Red Raiders and some of these guys in the portal get some green from Texas Tech, if you know what I mean. All right. That's going to do it for today's video. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the Back to 12 podcast. One more reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to help us get to 12,000 subs. We're already the largest Texas Tech community on YouTube. Let's just keep going, man. Let's just keep going. Let's see if we can get to 12,000 by the end of April. I think we can. I think we're about 50 subs away. Help a brother out if you want 100% free content on your Red Raiders all year long, whether it's on the hardwood or on the gridiron and in the portal. We've got you covered 100% free. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, to stay safe and Recom Tech.